Hey guys, and welcome back. Today, it's not supposed to rain, it's supposed to sunshine, so hopefully the sun will come out. But today I'm going to take you over to one of my favorite garden nurseries, which is Cornell Farms. Now the Pacific Northwest does have some pretty amazing garden centers here, and so I really like going around and buying plants. And when you get that sunshine and that burst of spring, you just want to rush out there and buy stuff. So what I'm going to do today to prevent you from doing that is to kind of give you some guidance and some tips of what you can do before you rush out there that may help you save some money and buying plants that are not necessary. And then if you do buy plants, I want to show you what you can do with your plants if they're not ready to be planted, but you want to keep them alive. Now, if you're a seasoned gardener, you probably don't even need to even hear this and probably already know this information. But if you are a new gardener and just started planting, maybe even as of last year, or plan to plant some this year, and you've got your garden plots already ready, then that is really a great start. Now, the reason why I have you looking at my backyard is because one of the very first things, and comes from experience, one of the first things that I would highly, highly recommend is to clean out all your garden beds. Prune all the plants that you're going to prune or that you are going to be able to prune early in the springtime. Take note of how large each individual plant that you have existing in your garden containers or garden areas, and see how big they're going to get. I will give you some examples over in this direction. But if you look in my backyard right now, as you can see, I have what it appears that there's a lot of empty spots, but in reality, everything that's I have back there is going to get really large. So in reality, I don't have a whole lot of space. If you're gonna do like a perennial or something like that, you may want to hold off on that until your plants have already emerged and have come out, because then you're gonna have a better idea as to what areas you have where you actually can plant. Now, if you do go and buy plants, one of the things that I would suggest is to either take them in your home, put them in a really sunny location if that's what requires the plant to have, or you can put them in, I have a small pergola that has a lot of windows on it, so I get a lot of light in it. You can plant them in a garage if it has a lot of windows in it. You just want to make sure that they're going to stay alive, and you're not going to put them somewhere and then forget about them and not water them, because then you're going to end up wasting money. I know, because I've done that. Also, be very familiar where the sun hits and where it's more concentrated than other areas. Like, for example, this whole backyard right here gets all afternoon sun, so I get a lot of sunshine in the afternoon, but it's also short-lived, so I have to be very selective of my planting. Over in this other direction is more of my morning sun, afternoon shaded area, so I have to plant according to that. But let me turn the camera around and just kind of show you really quick. This isn't going to be a garden tour or anything, but just kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about as far as plants. So this is a real prime example. Like, I have hostas. You can't see them right now because they still haven't come up and emerged from the ground. I do have some that are starting to emerge, like anything that's caged up over here. And I showed them on my previous video, so if you haven't seen that, I'll meet you on there. But I do have 3 other hostas right here. So it looks like I have a lot of ground that I can plant. So like right here, I have a hosta right here. I have a hosta right over in this vicinity. And then I have another hosta right around here. So I do have areas that I can plant bulbs, like crocus and daffodils and things like that are going to emerge in the springtime, because those are going to eventually die off. And then once your hostas get bigger and stuff like that, it's not going to matter because they're not going to be in season anymore. So those are things that you can plant and buy at this point, but I wouldn't go buy a perennial that's going to bloom in the summertime, that's going to grow, because your hosta then is going to block it, and it's just not gonna look all that great. Everywhere else I really don't have a lot of space because I have my hydrangea over here that's going to get its foliage, it's going to expand. So now I can plant something taller right behind there, like either an ivy of some sort, or maybe, you know, some kind of spring flowers, or maybe even a perennial that accepts part shade. That would be great back there because I do already know how much space I have. My black lace elderberry right here, right now it looks pretty baresome. Looks like I have lots of light for planting full sun plants. But once this is in bloom and it has all of its foliage, that thing's going to get fairly large. And even though I trimmed it off a bit, some branches could be cascading over and then creating a shadow over in this side, so it becomes more of a part shade over here. So those are things to consider way before you go buy any plants from the garden center. Now, let me show you something that you can do if you bought plants. So I have some pot mums over here, and these are just annuals and they require full sun. But if I'm not ready to plant these, here's what you can do. So if you have bought plants and they're not ready to be planted because you know the weather could change, we just had snow again not too long ago, so I wouldn't be planting them over here. Barney, honey, you gotta get down. Get down. But if I was at a warm temperature where I could plant these, but I wasn't ready to plant them, wasn't sure where I was going to plant them, what you can do is you can put this pot and all into the ground. Just dig a hole, and it doesn't have to be deep at all. This is going to serve a lot of purposes. It's going to keep your plant alive because it's going to keep the root systems of your plant nice and cool, because the container has a lot of holes in it. All the nutrients from the ground and the moisture are going to be sucked in and feed your plant. So that's another reason to do it. Just give it a good watering before you leave town for 2 or 3 days, and it's good to go. So that's something that you can consider doing. Okay, you guys, now that I have shown you guys some tips and things that you can do and don't do before you rush out to your garden center, let's go to Cornell Farms and see what we see there. And hopefully I don't make the mistake of buying plants way too early. I'm going to really resist on it. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, for the most part, I'm going to turn you around and show you this nursery and see what they have. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. This area right over here is more of where you pay for things, you know, then they have seedlings and all that. I'll take you over there, but that part there, you know, they have also rhododendrons. It looks like lily of the valley right over here. But isn't this a beautiful lily of the valley? They're very, very slow growing, and they do like shade, but mine needs a little bit more sunshine because it really is not blooming at this time of the year, and this one definitely is. But look at that arbor. Isn't that just a gorgeous arbor? That is something that I admire every time I come here. And look at how beautiful and colorful this area looks. Doesn't that just look so inviting? Here's some smaller lily of the valley. So looks like they have tiny daffodils. These are so adorable. Of course, they have Miss Piggy over here. This is a beautiful, beautiful plant because it loves the shade and it likes being protected from the direct sunlight, but they do like some sun. I love these. They're beautiful in the springtime. They're drought tolerant, they're an evergreen, and the longer you have them, the bigger they get. They're great for rock gardens, containers, and I just like the variety of their leaf color. They're almost like a succulent, they feel like, if you're not familiar with them. Yeah, love that plant. Here's some pink dianthus over here. And in Zone 8B, they do come back. Mine is in a container, and it actually has come back. And then you have some ground cover here. And these ones here are Vincia bowls. They're extremely slow growing, but they are an evergreen. This here is a crocus. Look at how beautiful it is. And the leaves remind me of a yucca plant. They're kind of tough. That is a gorgeous crocus. Now I would buy that and put that in a container. That is absolutely gorgeous. These are about $8 a piece. They are called an orange monarch. Look at how beautiful that is. And then right next to it, then you have the snowdrops, which are not in bloom. Well, I guess they are kind of in bloom. Very dainty, very beautiful. These are Mimi series. And they're supposed to be really fragrant. Let me smell. Oh, that smells so good. That fountain is beautiful. Here we have an euphorbia right here. It's probably a dwarforbia. And then pansies, a little bit of crocus here. I'm not sure what this is. And then of course we have the hellebora. Oh, look, and then they have the little crocus right here. It's a pretty arrangement. And then they got the primroses, and I just absolutely love ferns. Those are one of my favorites. They have the box leaf hebe. Those are beautiful. They're very extremely soft too. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of bring you really quick. Here's just some ground covers. So we have what I just took out, you guys. This burgundy glow. This is beautiful. Nice colorful containers. I'm not gonna name everything because I'll be here forever, but they have a lot of hens and chickens here. The Sangenia sedums are great, or even the hens and chickens, or any of these sedums right here. If you are doing a rooftop gardening, these are all perfect for that. And then here we have some lavender. I need to replace my lavender, but I will do it at a later time, not right now. Then over here we have some angel swing. I just absolutely love angel swing. It's just so soft and beautiful, and it's actually a perennial in Zone 8B. If you have it in a protected area in a container, perfect for that. This one here is a Dusty Miller, and I do have that on top of my chicken coop. And then this is a lamb's ear. Oh my gosh. Do you know that lamb's ear is really a great substitute for TP? If you're out in the wilderness and you come across some lamb's ear and you need TP, this is the perfect plant for it. And then of course we have all of the euphorbias over here. And over here they have a lot of heucheras. They're one of my favorites. They're an evergreen. And I just absolutely love heucheras. I love this one here because it's so beautifully and bright, and it just is really a good show for your yard. I just love this variety, and this one is a Forever Red. Then I also have, I believe I have this one here, which is a Berry Smooth, which is also equally as beautiful in a yard. And then this one, because of the variety of colors that it has in it, I absolutely love this one. This one here is a marmalade heuchera. This one here is equally as beautiful. This one here is a northern exposure. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's step in here and see what's over here. A lot of helleborus, and it looks like bleeding hearts over here. Also some spot on over here. They're even getting their little flowers. Look at that. And they're starting to come up. Look at the blooms on these bleeding hearts. And then over here we have the blue heron. That is gorgeous. This one here, look at this hellebore. Oops, this one's broken, but look at that. That is gorgeous. A variety of poppies. This is a jade tiger. But do you see just, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's just hint of the like purplish red. See if this one does. Yeah, you can barely see it. You probably can't see it on film, but this is what it looks like. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? That is such a beautiful purple. And then, of course, we have the primrose right here. That's just absolutely beautiful. Over here, we have a huge row of winter clematis. This is what I have in my yard. This plant here is absolutely beautiful, especially if you have a nice sturdy fence to grow it as a privacy screening. It is very slow growing at the very beginning, but once it gets really established within the second or third year, it starts becoming a very vigorous grower. And I've shown this on mine at home, so go catch that video. But this is kind of what the flower looks like, and it is just super fragrant, very perfumey, kind of like a almost like a vanilla. Oh, here's that we have some allium. Oh, I would love to have some of this plant it, but oh my gosh, you really should be planting allium in October. But I'm resisting, you guys. I'm resisting. Okay, so this kind of tells me more or less what is what's happening here, which is basically tulips and daffodils and crocus. Of course, they're helleborus. Look at how beautiful this heuchera is. See how much of a statement that makes? Just imagine that in your yard. Here we have some more tulips, some hyacinths. These are gorgeous. I never have planted any in my yard. I don't know why, because they are super fragrant and I absolutely love the smell of them. And then here's some yuccas, and this is one that I have in my yard. Of course, the one that I have this is a chacha emporium. This is what I was thinking more on that crocus, of what they look like. You know, they feel like, how sturdy these are. That's how that crocus feels. This is a nice container because of the way the light hits. I absolutely love that. Even though it is completely black, look at it. On film, it looks like it's black and white. Look at this birdhouse. Looks like it's made out of stone. Isn't that gorgeous? $229, and it is stone. But that's a great birdhouse. And then, of course, they just have some ferns here. Ferns are really great for container gardens. They're great in a woodland garden. Those are really fantastic plants. I love ferns. And looks like ranunculus over here that are already in bloom. Let's see if they have any that I really can't live without. But isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that a beautiful? It's almost like a terracotta. Beautiful ranunculus, that's for sure. Different colors. Here's one. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. Look at the bloom on that one. Isn't that just gorgeous? Almost looks like a mum's. And then it has just a hint of almost like a blueberry in the center. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it looks like the clouds are rolling in. But this side here that I'm entering right now is where the lily of the valley is, as you can see right behind me, right here. So this side here is where they have more of like your trees and like your clematis, and then they have the fruits and vegetables. So let's go in there. Here's a really pretty camellia. This one here is called, I'll just bring it up and just show you what it is. But right over here is a ton of containers. Let's see if they have any very unique containers here that I would love to have in my yard. This one's nice. I like it because it's a two-tone variegated. It's a little different. And of course I like these stone-looking containers, or something that has something like this where it has, you know, some type of design on it. These are very nice and sturdy. This, you guys, I have talked about mint and about not planting mint in your garden unless you have an area that you don't care that it takes over. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you need to plant mint in, to contain it. This one's nice, kind of bubbly. Oh, look at this. This one here is $375, but that's what I'm talking about, you guys. Isn't that the most gorgeous container? This would make a beautiful centerpiece in a garden. It would make a centerpiece going into your yard as a focal point behind some flowers. Oh my gosh, this would just be a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. It is heavy, you guys. I don't know what that thing weighs, but it's not something I can pick up. Look at this container. Isn't this just gorgeous? This one, same thing. Gorgeous. This one here, behind there, is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at the colors on that. This would be another focal point to put in your yard, behind flowers or anything. I mean, you could actually either put some battery lights in here. You could put bird seeds in there. This is great for so many reasons. I love that. Okay, over on this side, they have a lot of camellias. Don't have any of those in my yard, but there's some really beautiful ones. I don't even have the room. This is something to consider because these grow really tall. These are zone 8 through 9, but they grow 8 to 10 feet tall, so and wide. So you really gotta have the space for camellias. But they are beautiful. More camellias. This one's gorgeous. Look at this one. This one is called the Jury's Yellow. And this one here gets up to 15. 12 to 15, a zone 7 through 9B. But look at how beautiful that is. That is so beautiful. Yes, this would be a great option. Spring bloomers. Over in this side, they generally will have down in the season, then they'll bring their rhododendrons, Japanese maple, things like that. And this is your garden shop and where you have your house plants. I don't have a lot of houseplants in my home because I don't get a lot of light. So I'm very limited to what it is that I can have in there. A lot of beautiful plants. I love bird of paradise. Look at this. I wish they would bloom in zone 8B, but they just need more California weather for them to bloom. I've never seen a bird of paradise over here in Oregon bloom. And I've bought them, and I've never had it bloom. Doesn't that sound beautiful? This is more or less what you have. Now, I love this. And I mean, because these air plants are just gorgeous to have. And look at, you can add a little container and then put it underneath there. And all you have to do is spruce this once in a while, or throw it underneath the faucet for a little couple seconds. That's a beautiful well, don't you think? A very small one here is 24. It's probably going to be 50 for a larger one. Here's another of those trellises, those iron trellises. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, this one looks like you can actually put it on a post. And then of course they have kind of like a fence type trellis there. Here, what do we have over here? Looks like probably rhubarb. Yeah, this is some crimson cherry rhubarb over here. Okay, so we're at the kitchen garden. This is where I get dangerous. Over here you have your potatoes. More potatoes. These are more of your, what's that, the Yukon potatoes. German butterballs. Your red fingerlings. Then you've got your sweet potatoes. You've got your early Italian soft neck, garlic. I haven't really gotten into growing garlic yet. Let's see, and then over here is figs. These figs don't get very tall, so I could even purchase one. They're not too bad, $14. This one's only get up to about 5 feet tall. 3 to 5 feet tall and about 5 to 7 feet wide. I don't think I have a yard big enough for that. However, you can plant these in a container. Then you've got your thyme over here. Then you've got your sorrel, your sage, your rosemary, more rosemary down below. Then you've got your parsley and oregano, your peppermint over here. And then you've got your mint. This is what I have, is that mojito. Then over here you've got your lettuce, garlic, Inchium red. These are the soft neck. And then we got leeks, which I had a bunch of leeks at home still. Then there's here some Welch onions. Then we have the lettuce, and already in containers, the lettuce mix. But it's really too early for me to do lettuce right now. I got to get my garden and make sure that the weather's going to cooperate. Then we have the kale over here. More lettuce, butter lettuce, loose lettuce, carrots over here, broccoli. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm resistant. Half beans, collards, Swiss chard, and cauliflower. This is what I want to grow this year. Look at the leaves on this one. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I would just buy the snow crown just because of the color of the leaves. It's very colorful. This area here is where you kind of check out. You can either check out over in this area, or you can go through the doors over there and check out where I took you in, as far as where the house plants are. But they also have the lettuce over here, and they have lettuce all along here. And then I'm just going to take you really quick through here, but it's where you pretty much have your patio stuff, bug and slugs repellents. Here's something you can buy for your tomatoes. But really, to be honest with you, what causes tomato in rot is not having enough calcium or not watering enough. So I wouldn't purchase this. I would more or less make sure that you have the right amendments in your garden and make sure that you're watering consistently before you run to the store and buy some in-rot. I don't even know what this is, Blossom in-rot remedy, because basically all that is calcium. You can add egg shells, you can add oyster shells to your dirt, and that'll help with the in-rot. Then over here you just have all of your containers. You've got your garden containers here. Your outdoor rugs. Then on the side, you basically have where you have your bamboo. You've got your garden ties. These ties are really pretty nice. I would prefer to go with something smaller than something really large, but I technically use a lot of wire. This is really, really great to have because this works really, really well. But you can test your dirt if you're not sure about your dirt. And then of course you've got your winter protection. You've got your rollers. Then of course you've got all of your hangers and your shovels and brooms, your garden hose containers. And then you've got a raised garden. That's kind of cute, don't you think? That's really cute. It's not deep enough for vegetable gardening, but it's deep enough for like flowers. And then you got your hoses over here, your wands, and then more fertilizers. You've got your hummingbird feeders here. Beautiful. I have some of these, but these things are expensive. They're like $55. Really, really expensive, but quite beautiful. And then of course here is where you have all of your fertilizers. Over on this side you have your mats if you're going to have a greenhouse. You've got where you can do microgreens or just a mini greenhouse. And then above here, look at that, you guys. Oh, this would be great. I believe that is about $129. I think that's what it says. So $119, excuse me. Now that would be great for growing herbs in your home. It'd be great for a small greenhouse. It's got containers. It's a self-watering. It has a up to 14-day reservoir, so that's really nice. And then of course you've got your trays here. Pretty nice little setup. Let's see what else. And then you've got some seeds here where you can do your microgreens. You can do wildflowers. Then your vegetables. And I will be picking up some seeds like carrots. Now, I don't know if you guys do vegetable gardening or not, but here's my thing on vegetable gardening. Buy what you're going to eat. That's the rule of thumb that I follow by. Like maybe some kale, some cabbage, maybe your tomatoes. I may go ahead and pick up a couple of these and try doing some seeds. And then oh my gosh, look at this. Here you've got some really nice, beautiful stakes. Now what I would do with this is I would laminate the front of it. That way it's rain resistant and it won't fade over the summer months. But I would put a coating over that. I might pick up some of these. How much are they? They're $8 a piece. And that's not bad, considering the amount of work that's put into it and the artwork. That's really, I think it's a fair price. So yeah, look at that. Who would have thought? Oh, let me show you one more price. Let me turn the camera around again. This area right here is really a beautiful little garden here. I mean, there's not a lot blooming, but here's where they have roses and different types of elderberries and hydrangeas. And they're just, I don't know what the heck that is, but very beautiful sculptured tree. Yeah, looks like maybe some ponies are just coming out. Look at that. This is an Emily, and it's just starting to peek out. So not a lot blooming over in this area, but a lot of native plants. Look at this tree. Isn't that magnolia tree absolutely gorgeous? What is this? This is a magnolia flix jury. Do you see that? Look at how big the bud is. And it's just, oh my God, it's like a rabbit's foot. That is absolutely stunning. That is just one beautiful, beautiful tree. Here's a container that's very gorgeous. This would be a great one for a tree because of the fact that it has a lot of area for the roots to grow in. And yet you don't need a lot of neck for the tree trunk. So this is a great, great container if you're planting like a lilac tree. I've had a lilac tree growing in my container, and it's smaller than that, for several years now. It really stunts their growth, and it's a great way to have a tree in your yard. What better place than a container? You can even have like a Japanese maple tree growing out of this. This would be a fantastic container for that. So many things you can do with that. Let's see. Yeah, and then just ground cover, more cypress trees. I just wanted to bring you over and just show you this fantastic, gorgeous nursery, because there's not a lot that you can't find in here. And then right here is our coffee shop. But here's another container. Look how gorgeous that is. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's really heavy because it's concrete, but it is just beautiful. And then you have this one with the lion's head. This isn't really quite something that I would go and gravitate towards, but you have options. Okay, you guys, I am back in my car. I am done shopping. Probably spent more time in there than I really needed, but I really hope that you enjoyed this walk around Cornell Farm's nursery, and just to see what they had at this time of the year. And you guys, don't forget to get up, get out, and get active, okay? Go for a walk in a nursery. Walk around and just look at the beautiful flowers and plants that they have, and just appreciate everything that's out in season as the seasons go. It's just a great walk to do. Okay, you guys. Love you guys. I will see you guys on the next one. See you soon.